Oh, hello, welcome to Family Connect Network. It's Annette Samis. Today is a very special day, and we have an expert to discuss very important issues about raising leaders in a culturally diverse environment. And today we're very privileged to have a psychologist with us. Her name is Emily, and you'll be meeting her very shortly. Emily has studied far and wide, and she's one of the Black scholars doing her PhD in Surrey University. So we're really blessed to have her. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. If you're blessed by it, why don't you share it with someone else? If you have any comments, please put it in the comment box below, and we will respond to you. So if you're ready, let us meet Emily. Hi Emily, it's really lovely meeting you today. I'm so glad. Please, can we meet you before we start?
Thank you for having me. My name is Emily. I have a background in psychology, mainly working. Well, in the last 2 years, I've been supporting children and teenagers as they go through different life transitions. And also, one of my major interests is the interaction between mental and physical health.
Oh, thank you so much. That is why we're so blessed to have you today, because recently in Family Connect, we've been talking about children and families, especially in diaspora. And today we're talking particularly about building tomorrow's leaders in a culturally diverse environment. Talks a lot more about those who have moved from their country to another country. So, building leaders in a culturally diverse environment. We're looking at 5 important building blocks. Number 1 is self-esteem. Self-esteem, how important it is in building leaders.
Okay, so broad definition of self-esteem is how someone views themselves in relation to others, in relation to different environments and different experiences. It's really based on how one views themselves. You can imagine for a leader, there needs to be a perfect balance between risk-taking and also making informed decisions. Now, if someone lacks the self-esteem, the belief that they can navigate those risks or that they can make those informed decisions, then it's really hard for them to be good leaders. Now, in culturally diverse environments or different backgrounds, being immersed in an environment where there are different cultures, different understandings of what self-esteem is, being able to support your child as they begin to explore their own strengths, their own abilities, does start to build that self-esteem. So not just being rigid and saying, you as my child will go down this route. Building self-esteem means encouraging your child to take different and follow different paths and strength.
That's so important. And it keeps me thinking about assertiveness, being assertive, because there's a bit of conflict between being assertive and being a good boy. And as a psychologist, who you have a lot of knowledge about that, please could you take us through this?
Okay, so you're right. A lot of the times, depending on your heritage, your cultural heritage, assertiveness is wrongly related to being aggressive, being stubborn. But in actual sense, being assertive is being able to communicate and stand up for what you believe. It doesn't mean you have to be rough in how you communicate your desires and wants. One of my favorite definitions of assertiveness is being able to say what you mean and meaning what you say without being mean. But how do we, from our backgrounds, define assertiveness? What does that look like? If a child is coming up to you and saying, I have an issue with this, Why is that a challenge for you? It's them, you're encouraging them to be assertive, to explore different options. And you see, what you find is being assertive is strongly linked with leadership. Because remember, part of being a good leader is being able to seek out opportunities and take calculated risks. Now, if you are not able to stand up for yourself, how do you then, or stand up for what you believe and not be passive? How do you then take those calculated risks?
Because, in some traditional homes, there's a concept of respect.
Yes, you're absolutely right. There is a respect element to it. But remembering that being assertive doesn't mean you're disrespectful. It's how you say it. Right? You can communicate your views and your wants in a way that doesn't criticize the whole person. Yeah. And I think it's about us being able to challenge our definitions of what respect is. Because a lot of the time what we view as respect is actually timidity or being passive. I can respectfully agree to disagree with one of your views, and it doesn't take away from you. But how you define it is what's more important.
You see, this is a very important topic, and I'm so happy that you're here to break this thing down. One man said, "Don't whip the champion out of the child and leave a whim." A situation that you expect your children not to be able to have a voice, just to say yes or no, eventually we're going to have struggle with leadership development. Eventually it's going to be like you're just developing followers, people who are comfortable to say yes, who is my boss, who's going to lead me. Assertiveness is an important part to say, this is what I stand for because I believe it is right.
In many ways it starts from the home. Being able to create a space in your home where your child is able to express how they're feeling without fear of being judged, without fear of being punished. I'm sure there'll be, especially the fact that you're being integrated into a new culture, a new environment. There'll be situations and conversations that your child might want to bring up to you, as it navigate those differences, those challenges that might come from being in a culturally diverse place. But I think it's the responsibility of parents, caregivers, to create a safe space where a child can navigate those. They can speak up. And being able to speak up in many ways helps the child start to develop problem-solving skills.
That's so true.
Which we know is a core requirement of being a leader.